This is a CBC special presentation.
It's the final day of Canada Reads. We started off with 5 amazing books. Each title helped build bridges in different ways. 3 books are already out of contention. 2 are left. Only 1 can win. I'm your host, Ali Hassan. This is Canada Reads. Thank you again for joining us. For the final time, let's meet this year's panelists.
Hi, I'm Tegan Quin. I am half of Tegan and Sarah, otherwise known as Sarah's sister. I am an advocate for queer communities. I am championing The Cure for Drowning by Loghan Paylor.
Hi, I'm Morgann Book. I am one of Canada's biggest BookTokers.
6 years ago, I was decorating Hicks Online, and today I co-run a book-based media and production company.
I am championing It's Different This Time by Josh Richard.
Hi, I'm Josh Dela Cruz. Maybe you've seen me on Broadway. I'm the host of Blues Clues and You.
Everybody's looking for Blues Clues. Come on in, it's Blues Clues.
And I am also a reader. I am championing Foe by Iain Reid.
Hi, I'm Elle-Máijá Tailfeathers. I am an actor and filmmaker.
I'm not gonna let you in with that.
With what?
What's in the bag, Rosie? It's my stuff.
I am championing A Minor Chorus by Billy-Ray Belcourt.
Hi, I'm Steve Dangle Glynn. I'm a hockey YouTuber, broadcaster, and podcast host. That the Leafs lost to a 42-year-old tamponi driver who works for them! I host LFR, or Leafs Fan Reaction, a web series about hockey. I am championing Searching for Terry Punchout by Tyler Hellard.
What will be the one book all of Canada should read? We'll find out soon.
There you have it, our Canada Reads 2026 panelists. Right, on day 1, we said farewell to Foe by Iain Reid. It was championed by Josh Dela Cruz. On day 2, A Minor Chorus by Billy-Ray Belcourt was eliminated. The book Elle-Máijá Tailfeathers was backing. And on day 3, the novel It's Different This Time by Josh Richard was removed from contention. It was championed by Morgann Book. Morgann, you gave a spirited defense of this book all week long. As our third free agent, let us know how you're feeling and remind all of Canada why they should read It's Different This Time.
Yeah, I will say my heart rate is a lot lower than it was this time yesterday. My aura is like, what is going on? I slept more than 6 hours last night, and I'm really happy to be here on the final day. This debate was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, especially on day 2, but I like a challenge. Funny enough, I welcome the discomfort of discussing books. It's quite literally what I do for work. I talk about books, and it's quite a dream. I know this was the first romance book a lot of you picked up, and for that I'm so grateful. You gave it a chance. You liked it. You connected with it. But I think I am most grateful that almost all of you actually showed the book and the romance genre the respect it deserves. Despite romance being the #1 best-selling fiction genre in the world, I think a lot of people still underestimate it and underestimate a good romance and the comfort it actually provides. It got votes every single day, but it made it to day 3 with a 2-3 vote. That is a huge win for me, for Joss, for Canada Reads, and for romance overall. I really hope, and I mentioned this yesterday, I really hope my journey opens the doors for future champions to bring a romance book, to bring a thriller book, to bring a story that they truly love. Because I do think we have shifted something here, and I couldn't be more proud of that. It's Different This Time represents, and it means so much to me. I love, and I think it's an incredible book. June might annoy you, but that's honestly the point. She feels messy and real, but she's really easy to connect with, even in the smallest of moments. And to end off and to quote Josh Richard, one of my favorite lines from this novel is short, but it's had a really lasting impact on me. And it says, opportunities aren't going to be handed to you unless you ask for them. In other words, find what you love and go after it.
All right, thank you, Morgann. Josh, Elle-Máijá, and Morgann are our free agents. They hold the power to decide which book will be eliminated and which book will win. Now, on to our final two contenders, Tegan and Steve. Tegan, you're championing the historical novel The Cure for Drowning by Loghan Paylor. That book has not had a single vote against it cast all week. How confident are you feeling today?
I mean, I feel really great. I'm so happy about how this week has gone, but it's still a day of debating and there could be minds changed, and I'm still very nervous.
Enter stage left, or right in this case. Steve, the man who might change minds. Your title is the other book in contention, the novel Searching for Terry Punchout by Tyler Hellard. That book had no votes against it until yesterday. How are you feeling going into the finals?
Feel like I'm ready to drop gloves, everybody.
Yeah. Gloves were on Steve's hands. No,
It's great because it's cold in here, so like I actually there were practical purposes for that as well. I'm feeling great. My heart rate is also a little lower today because this is the end no matter what. I am looking forward to more than 6 hours of sleep. And one of the things I talked to Tyler Hellard about last night is you haven't talked about my book a whole ton in the 3 days leading up. So I'm excited to maybe talk a little bit less about A Cure for Drowning and more about my own book.
I'm happy to
Searching for
spend
Terry
this
Punchout.
entire hour talking about your book.
That was ominous. I'm scared now.
Imagine I had gloves too. That would have been amazing. Missed opportunity.
I know.
That
I
would've
should have
been-
brought two.
The wild thing is that we've been sitting at this table for 10 minutes and none of us knew that Steve was wearing hockey gloves.
I never noticed.
Yeah, bring them in. It's quite something. Okay,
I got
Steve,
here first.
we look forward to that. We look forward to that unorthodox approach of defending your own
Prop
book.
comedy?
Yes. Well, no, not the prop comedy, but we look forward to you talking about the book that you are here to defend. It's the final day. Canada Reads. Let's do this. All right, our two contenders will now make their opening statements for why their book should win Canada Reads. Steve, we've gone clockwise all week around the table. We're going to mix it up today.
I knew it.
Why not? You are going first. But first, let's check out the trailer for Searching for Terry Punchout.
Adam McAllister is a sports writer, a failing one, and he's driving home to Pennington, Nova Scotia with no idea what to expect. It's been a decade since he turned his back on his hockey-obsessed hometown to make it out west. He's hoping to save his floundering career by doing a profile on the former NHL enforcer, Terry Punchout, who also happens to be Adam's estranged old man. Now, Terry's down on his luck and driving the Zamboni in the hockey arena named in his honor. Oh, and he also lives there, in the arena. For Adam, being back home means running into childhood friends and former flames. It's almost as if nothing has changed. They get drunk, crack jokes, and get into the odd fist fight. With Adam's career hanging in the balance, Terry reluctantly sits down to talk. The more time they spend together, Adam and Terry realize that maybe the apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree. And maybe home isn't so bad after all.
Steve, you have 60 seconds. Why should Searching for Terry Punchout win Canada Reads?
Before this year's competition began, a Canada Reads fan named Josh Rose wrote, "I do think Steve Dangle will be a champion to watch out for. He's smarter and funnier than he looks." I'm not sure what that means, but I'm hoping to prove him right. Searching for Terry Punchout is my favorite book this year. It has heart and humility. It's drenched in East Coast humor and idiosyncrasies, and I can name about 41.5 million Canadians who could use a laugh right now. So many of the book's imperfections are intentional. Adam McAllister is an imperfect narrator because narrators aren't omnipotent. They tell a story through their lens, flaws and all. Adam's shortcomings aren't mistakes. They're good writing. I've received a lot of feedback about this book. Two of my favorite recurring ones are along the lines of, I thought I would hate this book, but I loved it, and this is the first book I've read in ages. That's building bridges with avid readers and non-readers alike, which is what this competition is all about.
Thank you, Steve. Tegan, you are up next. Here's the trailer for The Cure for Drowning by Loghan Paylor.
When 10-year-old Kit fell through the ice, everything changed. They struggle to fit the expectations of a proper farm girl, running around in boys' clothes, chasing a train on horseback. Their mother worries that they won't find somewhere to belong. Kit starts to worry too. Until Rebecca comes to the small Ontario farm town. She is drawn to Kit and sees them for who they are. But Kit's brother Landon can see a life with Rebecca. The love triangle and the Second World War tears the family apart. Rebecca, Kit, and Landon all go their separate ways. They join the war effort, overseas and on the Canadian front. But when fate brings them back together, they'll have to let go of the past to move forward.
Tegan, 60 seconds are yours. Why should The Cure for Drowning win Canada Reads?
Reading is a passport. It can take you anywhere, even places you'll never go. It can take you back in time, into relationships and bodies and identities unlike your own. It can introduce you to people you may never have met, people you may not understand, and it shows you that you are capable of loving them. I think The Cure for Drowning should win because it does all of this. It took me to a time I wasn't alive, into a family not like mine, across the world and back, introducing me to new things along the way. Elle-Máijá, you want people to challenge themselves, to learn from reading. I think you inspired so many people this week with your excellent defense of A Minor Chorus and your passion for The Cure for Drowning. Josh and Steve, as straight men, you spoke so passionately about this book. You made the container that holds it bigger. You broadened its reach by telling a national audience it could be for them too. Morgann, I loved hearing this book opened a door to historical fiction, but also because it opened your eyes to binary characters. That's a win. And that's why I want The Cure for Drowning to win Canada Reads. It could do that for so many people. It has barn cats.
Thank you. Right under the bell. There you have it. The two books left standing are Searching for Terry Punchout by Tyler Hellard, championed by Steve Dangle Glynn, and The Cure for Drowning by Loghan Paylor, championed by Tegan Quin. Our two contenders must now convince our three free agents why the book they choose should win. Today, it is time to debate. It's a chose. You chose it, you came in, it's the chosen one by you. Cheese. It's the chosen one.
I can't spell the word neighbor.
Thank you for sharing that. It makes us all feel connected. But I think we'll get to the debate. I think that's what we'll do. I mean, that feels like a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
It'll lead to more discussion. Go back. To select the one book all of Canada should read, you'll all have to vote against the book. Against. But for that to happen, you need to be properly convinced. So, Steve, why should Josh, Elle-Máijá, and Morgann vote against The Cure for Drowning?
Because I was lying to you yesterday. It's actually a terrible book, and I think it sucks. No, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't deserve to win. I think there are many years where it absolutely could and absolutely should, and maybe this year is one of those years. Searching for Terry Punchout, I think, is a great book to win this competition in a year where Canada is kind of in a weird mood and in a weird position. And hockey is starting to see more discussions about its culture and toxic masculinity, et cetera, than we've ever seen before. The writing of It's Searching for Terry Punchout is a little more contemporary and easy, and that's intentional. That's good writing. It's meant to be accessible for its audience. Not that The Cure for Drowning isn't, but I think Tyler Hellard met his goal when he wrote this book and wanted to create a feel-good read that everyone can enjoy, whether you're an avid reader or you've left books on the shelf for a while.
Okay, Tegan, response to that?
I mean, similarly to you, I'm not going to get up here and say that I hated Searching for Terry Punchout when I've already said a few times this week that I really liked it. I'm excited to get deeper into debate. I actually think both of us haven't had an opportunity to do a lot of defending or critiquing of each other's books. So I look forward to doing that. And, you know, I think when I get home, I know exactly who I'm going to give this book to. My stepdad. And, you know, he played hockey, and I think he's going to really resonate with it. And I don't think simple writing or accessible writing is a reason not to read this book. So.
Let's bring our free agents into this discussion. Josh, what are your thoughts?
You know, I think both of these books deal with relationships and stories within Canada that are so, so important. I think what I really connected with Searching for Terry Punchout is it did address the toxic masculinity. And a lot of the comedy for me was how ridiculous some of these things that men, in air quotes, if you're at home, do, and why they still do it. I think I connected most to the communication aspect between the father and the son and how absent it was, because I feel like a lot of these problems could have maybe been lessened if they had just talked to each other. And that's what I love so much about my book. And so I really, really connected with that.
Elle-Máijá, a little tougher question for you, but why should people at this table vote against Cure for Drowning?
Good question. Good, yeah, sorry.
I can't answer that question, in all honesty. Like, I do feel like The Cure for Drowning is a book that Canada should read. I guess my only critique, again, is like, didn't go far enough with the magic realism. And I don't know, there weren't enough characters of color, but again, Tegan brought up such an important point, which is that authors who come from underrepresented communities are expected to represent everything and everyone, and you can't do that in you know, a novel like this.
Sure. Morgan, why don't we get you in just before the end of this debate? Last word to you.
I mean, I agree. We've talked about the fantasy and the magical realism elements. I just wanted them to either not be there to avoid the confusion or to be a little bit more fully explored. I have to agree with Steve in the sense of, like, Searching for Terry Punchout is a feel-good novel, and it's easy to read, and the intention behind that, I think, is really important. I am constantly advocating for people to get into reading, and I think A Cure for Drowning is an incredible novel. If it is the first book that some Canadians are picking up in a long time, I think it could be a bit of a heavier read, which, again, nothing wrong with that. I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Morgan. That's it for this round. Let us now turn to the other book in contention. Tegan, why should Josh, Elle-Máijá, and Morgan vote against Searching for Terry Punchout? No, not such a great question anymore?
No.
No.
I liked it way better before. All right.
I reread Searching for Terry Punchout yesterday and was reminded it's a good read. But my job isn't to sell you on the book, it's to take some punches at this book, and I'm gonna do it, even though it's kind of against my brand. My biggest issue with the book is Adam McAllister with our narrator. I don't think the book, I wrote this down, but I don't think it's a feel-good book necessarily. For me, Adam really reminded me of David Duchovny in Californication, except that character's way more charming. Californication, people that didn't watch the show, he's a washed-up writer living in Hollywood. He alienates everyone, including his ex-wife, his daughter, his romance partners, his agent, and everyone else. For me, Adam McAllister, especially the second time reading it, kind of alienated me. In this very short book, he gets beat up multiple times. He, by his own words, is blackout drunk by the end of every day. He isn't written in a way that he experiences any sort of growth, in my opinion. He reconnects with his ex, and when he tries to have a sexual interaction with her and she rejects him because she's got a child and who she's raising on her own, and she says that she's scared and he seems lost, he says, being deemed an unfit sexual partner isn't something I'm prepared to do. I make a quick exit. Later on in the book, when he has a somewhat of a reconciliation with his dad, which he sums up by saying, the next week is mostly just the two of us watching TV. Ultimately, I just came up short. I just felt like the book could offer more. And I think the question I would ask to you guys today is just, why would this book be a book that all Canadians should read? It is funny, and I do think it should be a TV show, but I think a room full of really talented writers should come in and help make the really great bones of this book a more nuanced, character-driven, heartfelt show where we can learn something.
We do have a minute and a half left in this round, Steve. It should go to you first, or maybe exclusively. Let's see how you address what you just heard.
Well, like I read a lot of books in preparation for this, and all the fiction I've read over the years is very, I guess, traditional in that the protagonist is typically the good guy, and like Tyler Hellard tells you immediately that's not who this is, right? So and it stays that way. Like he says Pennington is a rot, and I was just like,
Love that line.
Man, you're like, and it's like I think first page of the book. There is Tyler described his book as almost the whole thing is a false start. Like Adam's motives for going back home aren't actually good. And you pick up on that like with multiple reads. Also, you can read it in one day, which is both good for the book and impressive that you can do it. I can't.
I didn't have anything else to do.
Well,
That's
yeah,
my
I guess
job.
you're sort
It
of
was
on a
my
book show, eh?
It was literally my job.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ugly bits of Adam McAllister, and there's a lot of I think there's a lot of the man I used to be in Adam McAllister, and at very least the man I try not to be. And I think he's trying not to be that person as well. Trying, sometimes failing, but I like that at the end of the book it's a little open-ended, and hopefully he succeeds.
We'll have to leave it there for that round. The theme of Canada Reads this year, as we all know, is one book to build bridges. Both books in the final do explore difficult family dynamics. Tegan, on day 3, you talked about doing a loving excavation, referring to the difficult discussions required to repair family relationships. Steve, on day 3, you spoke of an emotional constipation, referring to the repressed feelings involved in dealing with estranged family members. I must say, 2 very striking visuals that you both provided there: loving excavation and emotional constipation. That's great radio. Really good. Good job to both of you. But on a serious note, I do want to pose this question related to that. And this is a question for everybody at the Canada Reads Circle. Which book best depicts the importance of having tough conversations? So, Steve, we'll start with you and we'll go around.
I think Terry Punchout, Searching for Terry Punchout, I've started referring to the book as just Terry, like it's a guy. But I think it's maybe the most accurate representation of tough conversations, especially between men. And, there's a lot of men either write themselves as, fantastical superheroes who are kind of flawless and everything. These are 2 guys who are a mess. And Adam and Terry's, their lives kind of mirror each other. They moved away from home where they thought they would find success, and for parts of their lives they did. And then they return home hat in hand. Their connection doesn't need to be vibrant, if that makes sense. It doesn't need to be this lovely thing where at the end of the book they're having wide out open conversations, because that's just not how everyone communicates. And we can't help the language that we use. It envelops us. I think Billy-Ray said in a minor chorus. Terry's communication style is not hugs and kisses, right? And neither is Adam's, but they reconnect in their own way. And you only, at the end of the book, start to see the block of ice kind of between them melt, if that makes sense. It might be unsatisfying in a way, but to me, the ending allows my imagination to run wild, and that's where we play our best movies. We were talking about that before the show.
Tegan, what are your thoughts on that?
I loved the emotional constipation line, got a lot of texts about it. We'll definitely be using it moving forward.
You ever say constipation on national TV?
You're a dad. You're a
Yes.
dad to a son.
Yes.
My stepdad has got some of the highest emotional IQ. I surround myself with men with high EQ. I know a lot of men raising sons. I bet you're aiming higher than this portrayal. Not everyone is capable of it, but you seem very capable of it. I guess I'm just stuck, like wondering why this limited portrayal of masculinity is the thing you think all Canadians should read. Like, I'm genuinely interested. I'd love to talk about the characters in The Cure for Drowning, but all of you have done it so beautifully for me this week. I think this has incredible, real-to-life, very aspirational, but also really harsh, like, family-child relationships that are really real around identity and choice and sacrifice. But I actually genuinely just want to know, like, why this portrayal of masculinity?
Let's put it back to you, Steve, to answer that.
Well, everyone who fights in this book or is ugly in any kind of way, incidents of violence, they're worse off for it. What ends Terry's career is literally a self-inflicted wound. What almost ends his life is getting into a fight in a bar. What I love about the exploration of masculinity, even if it's sometimes subtle, is it tries to show an audience that kindness is the way. Someone like Polly is portrayed from the beginning and pretty much through most of the book as this big dummy, and then you find out, well, he's actually got a lot of kindness in his heart, and he wants to help. You know, Dave finally gets over himself, and he's one of the...
Dave's the one that beats Adam up?
He does, but the growth there is then he's there for him. And he maybe realizes, you know, some of the errors of his ways. And one of the most profound scenes in the book that I love is Adam and JJ in the church. JJ was a fascinating character to me because I've met many sports writers that are JJ, the worst parts and the best parts. And that was a very private and open conversation. That was maybe more along the lines of what maybe you wished Adam and Terry's conversations were like. But I loved their, albeit strained, attempt at connection and understanding. Like, Adam is angry and not in a good place, and he lashes out at JJ even in the church. And JJ does not rise to it. He chooses kindness regardless. And even after Adam has a go at him, he says, call me whenever you need.
Morgan, let me get your thoughts on what you've heard.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think The Cure for Drowning has a bit more tough conversations. I think something that stood out for me was, I don't know how far we're going into spoilers, but when someone gets pregnant, the conversation around, like, okay, like, what is, for the times, like, what is the right thing to do to ensure that this baby was not had out of wedlock? And despite it being historical fiction, I think it connects into what people around the world are experiencing right now when they get pregnant, and the laws around abortion are super, super important right now. I think that was a tough conversation that stood out to me in that novel.
Okay, for the record, we're going full spoilers. Classically, we have on Canada Reads. Don't hold back on any argument if you're worried about that happening. Okay, we'll wrap with that. That is it for this round. Okay, it's the last day of Canada Reads. Soon, one book will be crowned champion. But first, you've all worked very hard this week, so we have a nice little treat for you. Listen to this.
Hi, Josh. This is your wife, Amanda. The way you connected with these stories in so many different ways, it just really shows who you are. And I'm so proud of you, and I love you so, so much.
Dearest Maya, this is Katharina, my steadfast hero. You did such an amazing job. You spoke hard things, but hard things are necessary. We are all so incredibly proud of you. And those bangs are rocking.
Hi, Mo, it's Mom.
Hey, Mo, it's Dad here.
I love watching you on there. You're killing it. But remember, enjoy the ride of it all.
I love that you're defending your book with such class and respect. Rocky and I are amazed.
We love you.
Tegan, it's your younger, less successful sister, Sarah. No matter what happens, you've already gone further than I did in this competition, and for that, I am very proud.
People that come through our home know they're not leaving without a stack of books. You got to do on radio and television what you do in our living room so well, connecting people with the book they should really read. I'm so proud of you.
Hi, Stephen. It's your mom.
And Dad.
We are so proud of you.
Hey, Daddy. Good luck on Canada Reads. We love you. We love you.
Good luck, son.
We love you.
They do you dirty.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, eh?
Those
All
were
right.
the voices
All right.
of Josh's wife, Amanda Phillips.
We're good.
She had to say your wife, Amanda, which was curious. She didn't add her wife. She added her name.
wife,
Just
Amanda.
in case. You've been away from home for a long time.
Oh, God.
Elle-Máijá's friend and friend of this show as well, Katharina Vermette. Morgann's parents, Jennifer and Ryan Book. Tegan's sister, Sarah Quin. We had a gun to her head to say those nice things about you. And your wife, Sophia Santos. And Steve's parents, Gary and Tina Glynn, his wife, Sarah Louise, and his children. I'm Ali Hassan. This is Canada Reads on CBC. Let's get back to the debates. So in this round, we're going to talk about setting. We talked a bit about the idea of home on day one, but let's go a little deeper. Searching for Terry Punchout is set in a Nova Scotia town. The Cure for Drowning is primarily set in southern Ontario, but both books look at this idea of home and they explore these ideas, what it means to different people. So I'm going to ask which book's exploration of home was most compelling. Tegan, let's start with you.
I mean, obviously, I find The Cure for Drowning to be just such a compelling read, specifically because of how the characters are first established in their homes and then they leave their homes. And so you get this other amazing journey where the characters return to their home. It's a well-earned happy ending and a well-earned ending to the story because they do return home. But because it takes place over 2 decades, you also see how their home transforms. Not just their physical home and their parents and the community around them, but the country itself, and how many of the people from their homes, how they adapt to these new identities of these lead characters. You know, they come home in a completely different state than they left. I just feel like that's going to resonate with so many readers. It's why I chose the book. It's not just that it crosses genres, but it crosses time, and it allows the reader to hopefully exchange any bias or ignorance they might have had and end the book with a deeper understanding of the characters. Like I said in my opening, my hope is that people could read this and transcend any bias or ignorance they might have around non-binary people or, trans identities or even historical fiction and come out on the other end with a better understanding and capable of loving. To me, that's always been the biggest part of being an outspoken queer person. I don't expect you to necessarily understand me or walk a mile in my skin, but I hope that at the end of the day, you can still find compassion and love for me, and I hope that that's what this book does, and it does it well by setting the story in such a beautiful home.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think about what you just heard there?
I think our books are similar in that they share the concept that home isn't a place. It's a concept, I guess, but it's a person or it's people. That's what home is. I think Kit probably comes to that realization. Kit and Rebecca both come to that realization a little sooner than Adam, and I think Adam comes to that realization a little bit more kicking and screaming. He had to set aside his own ego because, again, page 1, Pennington is a rot. And what I found funny about it is the whole time I'm reading it, I'm like, that actually sounds like quite a nice place. I would like to live there, and I want to have Mrs. Arsenault's butter tarts or whatever it is. Yeah. I loved the idea of coming back from, it's not even the grass isn't always greener. It's just, I've heard the concept, if you're sad here, you're not going to be happy there necessarily. Changing your setting changes nothing. Adam had a lot of unresolved issues with the place he was from, but more specifically with his community, with his dad, with his friends, however toxic that relationship might have been. And what's beautiful is he returns home to repair all those bridges, or at least that's what he does by accident.
Yeah.
You know what? They don't ask how, they ask how many. And he scored that goal off his butt, but it still counts. if that makes sense.
Oh, it's so hard. I would sit next to Adam on an airplane. Like, he would sit down next to me, and I'd be like, oh, no. And then maybe it's because of who I am, but also some of his charm, I think. Like, I'd probably at some point get chatting with him and ask him about his life, and by the end, I'd probably give him my email, and he'd update me once a year about all the things he was up to. I don't know. I feel like the book, in my opinion, it kind of painted a very bleak, picture of small town life, which is weird because I live in a small town in a rural place, and I didn't necessarily feel like he came back there and then eventually came around to it and was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm here. Again, it's all those things are possible. All the things you're talking about are so aspirational, and I want them to be in this book, and they're there for you in between the lines. I can see that. I can really feel that from you, and I think lots of readers will feel the same way. I just keep returning to this question in my mind over and over again is like, but how do we get the most amount of people to read one of these books? Like, how do we reach the most amount of Canadians? And I'm having a hard time imagining that a lot of the people that would be drawn to this, to The Cure for Drowning, would be drawn to this book. I don't want to belabor it, but there's just it's kind of a bleak portrait of small town. It's kind of a story where I don't feel like the lead character redeems himself. And on top of all of that, I'm just really hung up on the limited view of masculinity. You just mentioned so many more characters that I'm like, they all have, I can't believe I'm about to say generally that in defense of men, but I think men have been working so hard at themselves, at changing, at growth. I feel like it's been a really amazing couple decades where I'm wondering, is this squashing that a little bit and it's setting us back and holding up something that doesn't feel that relevant as more?
30 seconds left, Steve, if you want to have a response to that.
Absolutely. I think that's why it's doing a good job. Adam is, at the beginning, I resonate with the negative things that he feels. I've been that person. And then by the end of the book, even though the story is told through the narrator's lens, I think you and I came to the same conclusion by the end that we don't see the world the way he does, even the world that he painted.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what's so beautiful about it. He might be the most toxic person in the story. There's a chance at redemption there. What is redeemed to me through the story that he tells, whether that's what the narrator meant to or not, the author meant to redeem the home that he returned to. And I think he did that well.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. That's it for this round. Books have the power to change and transform you. And as we head into the final vote, I want to pose this question to everyone in the Canada Reads Circle. How did these books change the way that you see the world? We'll start with Searching for Terry Punchout. How did this book, Searching for Terry Punchout, change you? Tegan.
I love. Yeah. You thought it was going to go to you?
Yes, it did.
You know what I really loved about Searching for Terry Punchout? The barn cats. And I was really surprised that both of our books had barn cats in them. I actually one of the things I loved about this book, I don't know if it changed me, but one of the things I loved about it, sorry, I'm just going to go off the question, is that I was reminded, I forgot all about this, about his mom dying.
Yeah.
I loved the writing about the mom. I loved, because I actually felt like that emotional constipation that Adam feels probably started then, and actually probably had a lot less to do with his dad and was the absence of his mom. I think that, not to overgeneralize, but he didn't have the opportunity to learn from her how to be a more well-rounded, better person. He had a very flawed father who wasn't able to teach him that. And I think in that way, that is a really great thing about this book that I loved.
Josh, I want to ask you, I saw you scribbling some notes to yourself in the last round, and I wasn't able to get to you. But let me ask you the same question.
Dogs.
How did these books change you or the way you see the world? But it was specifically about Terry Punchout in this round.
So Terry Punchout, I really connected with the book because it reminded me of when the show that I was on, it was my favorite job I've ever had, was canceled. And I felt like my identity was so closely tied to what I did. And Terry Punchout reminded me that that is not who you are, it's what you do. And I think that is why I love the book so much. I think it's a cautionary tale of, quote unquote, traditional masculinity and some of the traps that we can fall into, thinking with the ideas of who we are as, people or, again, quote unquote, men. Because I think we have come a long way. I think we have a long way to go. But I think this book does a wonderful job of reminding us of like, hey, you don't want to go back there. And I think the narrator paints a bleak picture of this town because of where he is mentally. And by the end of the book, I think we're out of that.
Okay, we'll need to leave it there. That is it for this round. Let's turn now to the cure for drowning. How did the cure for drowning change you? Steve, we'll start with you on this.
It's like I told you, I've read so much World War II stuff, and it's or even just stuff from that time period, because a lot of the story of World War II is told from both home and the front. It's one of my favorite kind of new interpretations of all that. I love that their relationships are imperfect. I love the connections with others. I was frustrated every time they were apart. You fall in love with their love, and you're sad when it leaves, and you just hope it comes back. I thought it was fascinating the nuance with Landon. Wait, is this a bad guy? And he shows up at the car. Oh, he's a good guy. Oh, this is awesome. This is almost an action scene in the Cure for Drowning, which obviously part 2 clobbers you over the head with that, but you don't necessarily expect it out of part 1. It's a great book.
Let me bring Elle-Máijá in with the same question. How did the Cure for Drowning change you?
It brought up some really interesting. I've been listening a lot. I haven't been talking very much. It reminded me of my grandparents and Blackfoot culture. In our language, in the Blackfoot language, there are no gender pronouns. And my grandparents both went to residential school. They were forced to residential school, and Blackfoot is their first language. So whenever they're speaking English, they alternate between she and him, which is, to me, such a profoundly beautiful thing, because it demonstrates that our people come from a place of love and understanding and acceptance, and recognize that gender is not a binary, and that makes our community, our culture richer. And I think that this book pushes for something deeper. It challenges these like very, very outdated binary ideas of gender, and the fact that we've always had genders of all kinds in societies across the world, but what we exist in right now is just like so. There's this huge, huge differential and binary, and these like very, very cemented ideas of what masculinity and femininity are. And I felt like it brought me home to that reminder that people come in all shapes and forms and all genders.
Morgann, let me ask you, how did this book change you, The Cure for Drowning?
Yeah, I mean, very similar. I am a straight woman, and I understand that queer people and non-binary people have always existed. I think this book opened my eyes to how they have existed and how they live, and living in a body where like people are using she, her pronouns, and you don't feel yourself. And I think that was really eye-opening in this book, and had the freedom to love who you love. And I mean, it really allowed me to experience an entirely different mindset, and I really appreciated that in the novel.
Okay, Josh, we have 30 seconds. It's a hard
Saved you 30 seconds.
More cats, more cats. For drowning, change you, cats aside.
I love what you brought up, because in the Filipino language, there are no pronouns either. There are no distinct pronouns distinguishing gender. And I thought that was an incredible reminder. I love to see a love story that is not atypical. I was rooting for them the entire time. I love that it had elements from each of our books, and I think that it really gave me a new perspective on what I want to read and what else is out there.
That's it for this round. Okay, Tegan, Steve, we're almost done for today. Here is some motivation to help you make it to the final vote.
Hi, Tegan. I am so grateful to you. I've been blown away by your ability to connect honestly with people, to listen and communicate with such an open heart. Your passion for books and your love of reading has shone so brightly on stage each day this week. I'm so proud of you, and no matter what happens today, you will always be a champion in my eyes.
Dangle, you have a generous spirit and a beautiful heart, and the best part of my week has been watching Canada fall in love with you. Whatever happens today, you're the best champion this book could have ever had, and I genuinely hope you win. Not for Terry or even for me, but for you. You deserve it, you deserve the world. I love you, buddy.
Don't let anybody say that Canada Reads doesn't help us find love. Right? There it is. Those are the authors of the book still in the running. For Canada Reads, the first voice was Loghan Paylor, author of The Cure for Drowning, and the second was Tyler Hellard, author of Searching for Terry Punchout. It is a victory to make it to the final round, but there can be only one winner. Steve, Tegan, it is nearly time to vote. Now is your final chance to convince the three free agents that the book you are championing should win Canada Read this year. Steve, this is your final chance to defend Searching for Terry Punchout. 30 seconds are all yours.
In other years, maybe The Cure for Drowning is the obvious pick. Or maybe it's a minor chorus, faux, or it's different this time. This year, the conversation around hockey, the conversation around Canada, I think it just happens to fall into being the perfect fit, even though this was written in 2018. It's a happy little accident. This book sold 20 books last year. It has on this table by far the fewest reviews on Goodreads. I want you to give it a shot because you haven't yet.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Tegan, your final chance to make a final case for The Cure for Drowning. 30 seconds are on the clock.
I loved the book. It opened eyes and hearts at this table. I believe deeply it'll open eyes and hearts in this country. The rollback on trans rights, the attack on the LGBTQ community and marginalized communities in general, and this binary that we live in remains absolutely 100% a pressing issue. And I just think this book has the opportunity to let you both escape and understand people. And that's the most important thing you can get from reading. Like Elle-Máijá said, we need to enjoy it, but we also need to learn. You can from this book.
Thank you, Tegan.
Barncast.
Okay, panelists, that is it for this year's debate. Okay, it all comes down to this moment. It is your time to cast your final vote, panelists. Your ballots are in front of you, as they have been each day this week. Just like the last 3 days, you are voting to eliminate a title, and the last book standing will win Canada Reads. Once you've voted, Zoe from the Canada Reads team will collect your ballots. She'll go around the circle. Please hand her your ballot when you're ready. Okay.
I had to laugh because there's only one option.
There's only one option for you, Steve. We're not giving you any other option.
And you can thank Justin Trudeau for
Yes,
that.
many years ago, famously,
Hilarious.
Justin Trudeau voted
Steve's gonna screw this up.
against
Don't
his own
put it.
book.
Yeah.
And not that we didn't trust you, Steve, but
No?
just let's make it easy,
No?
as easy as possible.
Great.
I think it was a relatively quick vote. Tegan took a little extra time writing a note that I'm keen to read in a little bit of time.
You probably won't be able to read my writing.
Okay.
My
Let's see.
partner, Sophia, says it looks like I skipped English handwriting classes.
We'll all find out together. I do want to say, as we well know, Canadians across this country are listening and watching to this final vote. Shout outs to all these watch parties and community events that I love so much that these happen in Thunder Bay Public Library, Oshawa Public Libraries, Ajax Public Libraries, Cross and Crows Books in BC, Vanderhoof Public Library in BC, Dauphin Public Library in Manitoba, Fated Public Library in New Brunswick. Thank you all and all the other watch parties. It's a pleasure to share this experience with so many Canadians. But I do have the ballots. Tegan Quin, how did you vote?
I voted for Searching for Terry Punchout.
You did, and in no surprise to anybody, barn cats are also referenced right under your votes. Okay, Steve Dangle Glynn, how did you vote?
Unfortunately, I had to cast the first ballot for The Cure for Drowning.
Elle-Máijá Tailfeathers, how did you vote?
You had such heart, and I really appreciate what you're doing for changing the conversation and pushing for something better, because it has to change. It has to get better, especially for the next generation, for our kids. So I appreciate that you're doing that, and you fought with a lot of heart. And I didn't expect to like this book so much, or you. I think you're awesome. Like, totally.
Thank you.
Okay, anyway, I had to vote for that one. I think it was obvious.
Searching for Terry Punchout is that one, in case you didn't read between the lines there. We have 2 votes against Searching for Terry Punchout. Josh Dela Cruz, how did you vote?
I voted for Searching for Terry Punchout, even though I think it is a step in the right direction, and everybody should read that book as well.
To that point, Josh added the words, read this, beside Searching for Terry Punchout, and his vote against it. Morgann Book, your vote.
Searching for Terry Punchout.
With 4 votes cast against it, that does mean that Searching for Terry Punchout has been eliminated from Canada Reads. And The Cure for Drowning is the winner of Canada Reads 2026. What a week. How about that? We have a couple of minutes left. I think this is a wonderful time to ask you how you feel about this. There were moments, Tegan, where you were like, you know, here's a thing you guys could debate me. You were very prepared. You were very prepared when you came in. And this is a chance to talk about, you know, how you feel about this book. Anything that was left on the table that wasn't said, or how you feel about this win.
I mean, obviously, I just want to first say thank you to all of you. It's been such an amazing week, and I was really moved by all of your passion for your books, and I learned a lot this week. And most of all, I just was so inspired by how much you all loved this experience and how much it changed you and how much it inspired you to read. And I hope people listening and watching were as inspired. And I just think each of you are wonderful. I knew that when we got together in January and did the announcement. I had a very difficult time imagining how we'd come here and punch each other out. Even the hardest moments of this week were super inspirational for me. I said this to Elle-Máijá before today's show. It re-inspired some of the passion I feel, just like this book did for reading. I really felt deeply that this was a book that would reach a lot of people. I read a comically large amount to pick this book because I wanted to come here and have a lot to say and make sure that people would read the book that I chose. And I appreciate all of you. You did such a wonderful job helping me win. And you also made me feel very included, and it's hard for me sometimes to do things without Sarah. And so this was like a big thing for me. I was very anxious to come here and do this. So I just want to say how much I've enjoyed it and all of you, and I hope we can all get together and watch Foe.
Tegan, I have to leave it there. I hate saying these words, but I do have to leave it there. But on a very happy note, The Cure for Drowning, championed by Tegan Quin, is the winner. We'll be celebrating the winning panelist and author on CBC Radio's Commotion tomorrow morning. We're also saying goodbye to the folks listening on CBC Radio. If you're online, if you're watching on TV, we will have more minutes with our panelists and our brand new champ. I'm Ali Hassan. Until next time, read on, Canada. Canada Reads has its winner for 2026. The Cure for Drowning is the champ, which is wonderful news for all. And we now have more wonderful news. The author, Loghan Paylor, here to celebrate with us. Hello, Loghan. What would you like to say to your champion?
Hi, everyone. I'm a little bit lost for words. First off, I just want to say thank you to Elle-Máijá, Morgann, Josh, and Steve for bringing such amazing books to the show and for championing them with such heart and care and conviction. I'm so thrilled with how Canada Reads brings readers together from across the nation to have these kinds of conversations and to celebrate Canadian writing. It's been such an honor to be included this year. And Tegan, what can I say? I'm just in awe. You've done an incredible job. You've changed my life, and I'm going to be forever grateful for that. So thank you.
Tegan, something that you'd like to say to Loghan in this moment?
You know, Loghan, I really appreciated so much of your support leading up to this and just loved your book so much. And I'm not a particularly competitive person, I don't think, in my life. And so I was so scared to come on the show. But it ignited a fire in me to be able to come here and to champion this story. And I know how much work and how many years went into the research and the development of the characters. And I just think you're a wonderful person. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm just hope this inspires you to finish your second book and keep going.
Sounds good.
Best of luck. I don't know if you need it, but thank you very much. That was Loghan Paylor talking to Tegan Quin about winning Canada Reads 2026 with their book. There's another thanks at this table I feel I should make, and that is to the Toronto Maple Leafs. If they had been a more competitive organization, I don't know if we would have got this version of Steve Dangle Glynn.
No.
You were focused, you were present, you were lively, you were good-natured, and I think part of it is because you were able to give up on your other obsession. Am I wrong in that? I mean, I really think it did us a solid.
The Leafs are 5-15-5 since the Olympic break. This was a great escape from that. And as for the vote, it was 4-1. Story of my life. Story of my life.
It's your comfort zone.
Yeah. It was 4-1, and that's okay. Like I was talking to Tyler incessantly. Like me and him have talked a lot and increasing as this process has gone on. And you know, all we kept saying to each other was, "We won." Like no matter what.
What did you say? It was like, how many books had it sold before the Canada Reads announcement?
I think over the life of the book, it sold 1,200. But last year alone, Tyler's like, "Yeah, I got my royalty check the other day," and I think it was 12 paperbacks and 8 e-readers. And you know, there was a story he told me. You know, it's an indie publisher, like I mentioned. And they had to print thousands of these things because of the engine that is Canada Reads.
Amazing.
And they were late to shelves in stores because they loaded all the books onto 2 trucks, one going west, one going east out of Manitoba, and they both got stuck in the same snowstorm. It was a scrappy little underdog of a book. You know, even though we came up short in the end, everything is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, absolutely. And I don't want to take anything away from the winning moment, but definitely this book has gotten a boost, you know, beyond what I think either you or Tyler would have imagined. So that is wonderful. Last thoughts, Morgann. I'll ask you.
On both of them, or?
Yeah, whatever you feel like.
You guys are both lovely people. Like, I know we clicked in January, but I think being here and you guys had such a level of respect and kindness and support, even as we were all voting out each other's books. And it's been, both your books were incredible. Tegan, yours especially, it was very hard to find some critiques in this novel, and I think you just spoke so passionately about it. And Steve, same with you, like a hockey book is just, I wouldn't expect anything less, and I thought you did an incredible job at advocating for this story.
Okay, for the final time this year, I'm going to say the words, "We'll have to leave it there." I don't enjoy saying it, but we do have to. That is it for another year. Thank you for joining us. You can catch up on Canada Reads 2026 at cbcbooks.ca. On social media, we're at CBC Books on Instagram. Follow us there. You can catch me today on CBC radio stations across this country celebrating the week that was. And I also want to say thanks to the Canada Reads team that makes all of this possible. They do such wonderful work. And a final thank you and farewell to our panelists this week. Tegan Quin, Josh Dela Cruz, Morgann Book, Elle-Máijá Tailfeathers, Steve Dangle Glynn. I'm Ali Hassan. This is Canada Reads. Until next time, read on, Canada.